Good, beautiful people. We are reading is effing fundamental, fam. Reading is fundamental, in case you didn't know. And that is what Riff stands for. And we are here to spread a little Ostara joy with the solar plexus. As you can see, I'm rocking the yellow today. We don't have any additional lighting because, you know, the light itself is a little bit yellow. We're gonna rock out with that. In terms of crystals today, we have our normal setup of the amethyst, Amazonite, and today we are highlighting the citrine since we're doing solar plexus. Gonna just take a second and cleanse the energy of the space with this Palo Santo real quick. So ancestors, most high, spirit guides, peace to the God, aka Ema Simone, aka Felicia Regard. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to the homie Knowledge Born. Knowledge born Allah. You know what I'm saying? Give the God his full title. But yeah, I just cleanse and anoint this space with the energy of healing and let the messages flow. Anything that the divine has for us, let it come through. Today, I was originally going to use the Moon Witch Tarot, but then they were like, if it's a solar plexus reading, maybe you should use the Healing Energy Oracle because it's got like these cool light bursts on it. And I like use this deck the least. Ah, yes, I remember now. It's all tight and whatnot. So let's get into it. We're just going to hang out and do like a couple of pulls, you know what I'm saying? And see what the energy, what the messages for today are. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Everybody having a beautiful day? So yeah, ancestors, most high, spirit guides. No power mode, which completely limits the connectivity. Y'all know how technology be. But this is perfect because we were talking about perseverance. We were talking about letting your soul glow. And literally in here it says, no matter the ordeal, I have faith in a better future. Because like, I could have ended this live again and tried again, but I had faith in a better future that this was going to work out. And I love when we get little like microcosm lessons that kind of illustrate macrocosm lessons. That's one of my favorite things. So yeah, this is proof that we are off to a great start. Okay, so be the light, you know what I'm saying? Turn your darkness into light, like transmute your negative energies and negative experiences that you've been through into positive dynamic experiences that allow you to essentially help others by taking the wisdom that you've garnered from these situations and setbacks and lessons and darkness, and you know, show them how you turned it into light, show them how you were able to, you know, make that transition. And that's a great way of shining with all of your being, like, you know what I'm saying? Spreading your light and helping to clear that darkness in other people. So we have card 2 now. Ooh, faithfulness. Look at the color scheme. Like, yo, these were random, like I shuffled and randomly pulled these Johns, but it's like solar plexus energy just popping through. I commit to my mind, heart, and will. I am devoted to the needs of my soul. I trust in myself, in God, and the universe. And that once again goes back to the perseverance thing, because a facet of perseverance is being faithful. It's easy to persevere when you commit yourself wholeheartedly, your mind, your heart, and your will. It's easy to persevere when you are devoted to the needs of your soul, because that means you're not gonna half step, you're not gonna take any shorts, you're not gonna take any shortcuts. And trusting in yourself, in God, and the universe is an excellent fuel for perseverance, because it's like, if you know no weapons formed against you are going to prosper, if you know that no matter what situation you're in, you're always going to rise to the top like cream. Like if you're the type of person that is like, if you see me and a bear in a fight, help the bear, that's how could you not persevere? What's going to stop you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, faithfulness is a key component to being able to persevere and to being able to be a light. You have to know and not just believe, but you have to know that things are always aligning for your highest and greatest good, even if us with our finite human perspective can't always see how. But that's where faithfulness comes in, and that's where devotion comes in, and that's where commitment comes in, because it can be very easy to get discouraged and distracted and a whole bunch of other D words, dejected. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? You can get a lot of D words if you're not careful and if you don't draw light to you. Because a lot of times we feel like we have to be like self-generating and so forth, but no, all of our light, all of our source energy is essentially of the Most High, and we have constant access to it. You just got to tap in. Nature is an excellent conduit for it. So like, go get you some grounding earth energy, go sit in the sun and charge up that way. That's one of my favorite ways to charge up. Excellent way to charge your crystals as well. But yeah, next card we have wisdom. God has a plan for me. I live here now knowing beauty is to come. I don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided for me. I learn from my experiences, take small steps in faith. Ooh, I love how this is all coming together. Like, the beauty of doing readings like this is just getting to see the way that the synchronicities and the way that the message comes together with, like, it's like, okay, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, like a little bit of being the light and a little bit of faithfulness, and then like a little bit of wisdom. But yeah, I learn from my experiences, take small steps in faith, and succeed thanks to all my efforts. So we were just talking about how faithfulness is knowing that things are always aligning for your highest and greatest good. Then the next card that we had is wisdom. God has a plan for me. And if that isn't speaking to things aligning for your highest and greatest good, then I don't know what is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ba-da-da-da. But yeah. Wisdom is about knowing, you know what I'm saying? Knowing beauty is to come, not believing beauty is to come, not thinking beauty is to come, not even hoping beauty is to come, but honestly just knowing. And it's in that knowing that, you know, faithfulness and perseverance are able to be sustained. And it's in that knowing and faithfulness and perseverance that you are able to be the light and shine to your fullest potential. Learning from your experiences is exactly what we were talking about in terms of I turn darkness into light. Like, that's what you're doing when you learn from an experience and you basically go, oh, okay, well, that was that time. Now I know, now I see, now I won't do that again. And now I'll also pass that wisdom on. That's what it's all about. It could all be so simple, and the world would be a much better place if we would all just let our actual souls glow, like, you know what I'm saying, unapologetically and in their full wattage. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be out here dimming yourself for anybody. Yeah, because there's always beauty to come, and you never know how you dimming your light could take away from the expression of beauty. Like, somebody might need to be inspired by what you bring to the table that particular day, and if you decide to tone it down, they might not get what they need in order for them to be able to, you know, be their own light. You might inspire people. That's all inspiration is seeing somebody else shine, or seeing something else shine, a creation shine, and just being like, hey, I would like to make something that is as energetically powerful as that, or like I would like to be as energetically powerful as that. And then it can catalyze envy, or it can catalyze an individual to just be the best of themselves. And that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, this is the first part of the reading. I am light, faithfulness, wisdom. We love to see it. Having a glass of red wine. Red wine. Yes, yes, yes. Having a glass of red wine. Because, you know, it's the evening. It's a nice general way to unwind. I also have some lemon ginger tea over here because life is about balance. So next card, we have Inner Beauty. I open the eyes of my heart and direct my gaze to the light within every being. Personality and physical appearance are in the image of man. Beauty and goodness are in the image of God. So what struck me particularly in this card is I direct my gaze to the light within every being. And we were just talking about that in terms of how your light can inspire others, but in order for that to be the case, you have to be able to recognize that light within them. Yeah, personality and physical appearance can really cause us to judge people as maybe like not in alignment because we expect things to come in certain packages. But the beautiful thing about inner beauty, your own inner beauty and the inner beauty of others, is just that when you are letting your soul glow, when you are letting that really shine, people will, you know, see the light within you and the light that is exuding from like your every pore if you're doing it right. And it really is beautiful when people are just being themselves in the fullness of themselves. And people are flawed and dynamic and they're multifaceted and they are wonderful and terrible all in one. And inner beauty really is the dividing line, because as they were saying, it's the image of God. Like literally the light within us is the spark of creation. Like it is God force in motion. So you are God force in motion. So when we take the time to really sit with that, it allows us to get closer to the Most High and just closer to our inner higher self, which is just closer to godliness in general, you know, like Christ consciousness type of vibe. So moving on. Freedom. And we're right back to the color scheme. So it's really interesting that we have like an orange blue color scheme that we've got going on. We've got 3 orangish yellowish cards and we've got 2 blue cards. So we'll see if that keeps going. We'll see what this 6th card is. But it says freedom. I realize my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. So I work to free myself of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. I knew there was a reason that they were like, if you doing the solar plexus, you need to do the healing energy oracles. I'm so glad that I listened. I'm so glad that I listened because these cards they had a lot to say about this. What did Outcast say? Can't worry about what another nigga think, and that's liberation. See it, I want it. Yes, that is freedom. That is liberation. Legitimately, I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. You know what I'm saying? Because wounds create doubt and resentment and guilt. Like wounds create, you know, a lack of faithfulness, a lack of perseverance. The hurt of past experiences that didn't work out, where we put our best foot forward and maybe stubbed our toe, or put our best foot forward and stepped in a puddle. Nobody likes wet socks. It's like the worst shit on the planet. So it can be easy to have that create doubt where now you're unsure of yourself, or it creates resentment where now you're like, you don't even want to try, or it creates guilt where you blame yourself like, oh, it's my fault it didn't work out. In terms of, sometimes it's just bad timing. Like, you know, this card said, wait, yeah, I don't force things to happen faster than the universe has decided for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times things have to happen in divine timing, and we feel bad because it's like we look at an unsuccessful attempt or anything that didn't fully come to fruition as like, oh man, I dropped the ball. Oh man, I failed. And that's not always true. And the most free that I have ever been has been since I have stopped, you know, doubting myself and worked to free myself of that darkness and just don't allow negative thoughts in my vicinity. I rebuke that. I'd be like, cleanse and clear that. No, thank you. Finding peace in your heart, which has to do with faithfulness and wisdom and knowing that God has a plan for you. Because, like, yeah, it's easy to have peace in your heart when you know that God has a plan for you, and when you know, and when you trust in yourself and God and the universe. See what I'm saying? That's the ultimate peace, because you realize, like, how much stuff is outside of your control. You realize what is within your control. You know, like, that is a scripture that's like that. It's like, the wisdom to like change the things that I can, the wisdom to know what shit I can't change, and like, you know, knowing the difference between the two is incredibly important, because a lot of the times, you know, guilt is beating yourself up for things that were outside of your control, or even mistakes that you made. But it's like, everything is, God has a plan for you, and everything is always aligning for your highest and greatest good, even if you can't see it. So what is perceived as a failure is 9 times out of 10 just a lesson. It's just a lesson to be learned. Yeah, it's just a lesson to be learned, and to grow from, because the goal is always growth. The goal is always evolution. The goal is always to be the best of ourselves and, you know, catalyze those dark spots into light spots. That's what it's all about. That's why I do these readings. That's why so many other people do readings, and shout out to everybody else who does readings on here. There's a couple people that I bang with, readers and so forth, just energetically people who align and who have helped me on my journey. And shout out to them. And yeah, just shout out to everybody doing the work to bring light to creation and to be the best of themselves and to be the light. So yes, that's liberation, baby, and I want it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Discovering the being of light within you. Like, you first have to know that there is a being of light within you, that you are light. In order to be able to let your soul glow, you have to know that you are light. You have to know that there's a plan. You have to know that things are always right. You're always right where you're supposed to be. Ooh. If anybody who knows me knows this card is hard. The next card is gratitude. And shameless plug, I do music. I got a new song that's about to drop very soon called Joy Gratitude. So this is beautiful, and it's a nice heart chakra color to close out the reading. Not close out the reading, but close out this particular pool. Gratitude. I am aware of the light in my life. I direct my thoughts to the beauty in and around me. I give thanks to God for every little thing that brings me joy. Thus, I enlighten my thoughts. Riches surround me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. I appreciate a couple things. I appreciate that this kind of looks like a body, and it kind of looks like the points of the chakras. And like one of the brighter ones, I guess that would probably be like, yeah, that would probably be the heart. So this would probably be like the solar plexus right there. And it's all bright. But it's also the culmination, just because I feel like it is the end result of all of these things. Once you realize you're the light, once you develop the faithfulness and the wisdom and you see the inner beauty within yourself and others, and that leads to a freedom based on knowing that everything is all right, that leads to a supreme feeling of gratitude, because it leads to a supreme feeling of gratitude because when you are aware of the light in your life and you direct your thoughts to the beauty in, and around you, you know what I'm saying? It makes you thankful for every little thing that brings you joy, because a lot of times we don't shine because someone stole our joy. We don't shine because one time we were enthused and excited and somebody just chopped us down in a crazy way, and then it's just like, I'm not even going to get hyped. Like, I'm not even going to, be that bull. Like, I'm just going, just be more chill. And that's how you end up with monotone ass people who just be like, it's okay, I'm good, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because one time they let their light shine and somebody was threatened by it, and somebody was like, who do you think you are to be shining like that? And it's an epidemic. And shout out to all the gentle parenters out there in the new generation of parents who are not crushing the spirits out of their children and are, talking to them and communicating with them effectively, and just breaking generational curses out here. I am grateful for y'all. Society is grateful for y'all. But yeah, it's hard to be grateful for the things that bring you joy if you don't, allow yourself to experience joy. And that's why the knowing and the perseverance are so important, because there's always more things going right than there are going wrong. And gratitude keeps you in an energy space of being mindful primarily of the things that are going right for you. Yeah, it's literally a frequency boost. And I'm not going to hold you guys too much longer because the live just cut out again. But riches surround me, and I appreciate all that life brings me. And that it comes along with wisdom. I like that these two are like right above each other in terms of alignment, that wisdom is above gratitude, that I am light is above inner beauty, and that faithfulness is above freedom. Because as much as they all thematically tie in together in the greater good, and as much as the first three have a theme and the second three have a theme, they also have themes that way. Because when you know that God has a plan for you, and when you know that even the perceived negative things that happen are just part of that plan and part of that alignment, it allows you to be grateful for even the negative things. When you are, free of being worried about, what other people think, or free of the stigma of failure or so forth, then you can be grateful for, things that would normally be perceived as negative or setbacks, because you're like, you know what? I don't necessarily know how, but I know that this is all contributing and aiding to the person that I am working to become, the energies that I am working to emulate and exude. So yeah, I think this is a great message to just, in order to it's like a recipe for how do you let your soul glow. Well, first you have to know that you are the light, then you have to have some faith, and then allow that faith to congeal into wisdom. Because faith is one thing, faith is like a belief type of level, but wisdom is a knowing type of level. And once you get that wisdom, it allows you to see not only your own inner beauty, it's an evolution. It causes an evolution from you just knowing that you are the light to then also being able to recognize the light in other people and also yourself. And that leads to a freedom that lets you know that like everything is good, like as much as we allow fear to make us worry about, you know, various outcomes. When you have the previous steps in place, it leads to just complete freedom, because you know that all you have to do is put your best foot forward. And even if you did step in a puddle, you know what I'm saying, it, you know, for some way it aligns to be for your greater good. Yeah, I don't know. I could think of a potential way that a wet sock could end up being a good thing. Um, Maybe somebody sees that you stepped in a puddle and they're like, oh, like, do you need a new pair of shoes? And now you got a new pair of shoes because somebody was like, oh, them Jones is wet. That's crazy. Like, maybe you get to somebody's house that you was about to pull up on and they give you like these warm, like extra woolly, soft, fluffy socks, and they let you keep them to go home in because like yours are wet. Like, thank you, Spirit, for giving me good examples. Because I was like, I personally hate wet socks. So I was having a mental block because I, like, on a soul level, even though I know that everything aligns for like your highest and greatest good, my conscious mind was just like, bro, it's nothing good about wet socks. But I just, listed two examples of how that could possibly lead to something good. And then after that, you would be grateful. You will be grateful once you're in those fluffy socks and they're just like all warm and toasty on your feet, warmer than your feet would have been in the original socks that you brought out the house. How could you not be grateful? Because you had no idea that when you stepped in the puddle and when you persevered and kept going to your destination, because you could have stepped in the puddle and been like, oh, I'm gonna just go home and, like, try again tomorrow. I'm gonna just go home and change my socks. But you persevered, and in the perseverance, it led to something better than you could have ever imagined. What? I can keep these socks? Are you sure? These are really nice socks. Thank you so much. Maybe it's my Capricorn placements, but like, there are a few things on the planet better than like a good pair of socks. Just chef's kiss. And there's something to be said for being barefoot. But that's more of like an outside in the grass type of thing. I would not recommend being barefoot on like cement or concrete. It's not really the vibe that you think it is. It's not. But your solar plexus is all about the I am. So the fact that we have the solar plexus reading and the first card is I am light is just, I'm so pleased with this spread and with this message. I'm going to take a look at what card is on the bottom of the deck. And I think we're going to wrap it up. Learning to love myself. And honestly, this is truly the first step. Because in order to know that you are the light and to have faith and to, develop the wisdom and all of the things, you have to learn to love yourself enough to be able to see your light. I choose to see the beauty in me. My wealth lies in my nature and potential. I transform my weaknesses into strength. I realize that I am a being of light and I allow myself to shine. I told you this was the first step, because you can't get over here. You can't get over here to freaking I am light until you do the healing energy oracle, until you do the healing and learn to love yourself. And then you be like, oh wait, I'm kind of popping. And it's like, well, if I'm kind of popping, then, and like the ideas that I have, I know I'm the light, I trust myself, so I'm going to commit to these ideas that I have, and I'm going to be devoted, and I'm going to trust. And then once you start trusting, you're like, hey, I'm starting to see how this is all working out. I'm starting to see that there's a plan for me. And so, like, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. I love when cards kind of give you a step by step instructional, because sometimes messages be hella obscure and be like, oh, vague as shit. But this is literally like a step-by-step program, to the point that I might like write this shit down. Like, it's a 7-step program. Literally, learn to love yourself. Realize that you are the light. Let that lead you to faith. Let that faith transmute into wisdom. See the inner beauty within yourself and others. Allow that inner beauty to create a sense of freedom in you, because you don't worry about judgment from anybody but the Most High. And you are infinitely grateful for all of your experiences, because you understand that when you learn to love yourself totally and fully, flaws and all, then you can't be mad at any of the experiences that you went through, because without them you wouldn't be you. And if you love yourself, then you wouldn't want to be anybody else. You wouldn't want to be another version of you. So you have to be grateful for your path and your experiences. I lost my father when I was incredibly young, 6, 7 years old. I lost both of my grandmothers and my father within a 2-year span of time, between the ages of like 6 and 7. It was insane. And I was very angry for a minute about those experiences, and feeling like it was unfair. And that created a lot of, it created a wound, which led to resentment. But once I learned to love myself, like once I was like, I really wouldn't want to be anybody else. And even though those experiences were painful, they were formative in other ways, in terms of just how I interact with the world. And now that I've done the healing, even though I miss those people, I understand that God has a plan for me, and God has a plan for everyone, and that was just part of his plan for them. And also, ancestors, they not really gone. Like, everybody's on my altar. Everybody, gets love and gets shout outs and gets celebrated on their days. I don't typically celebrate Western holidays, but I do celebrate ancestral veneration days and cosmic alignments. Those are like the holidays that I cultivate. So like Nat Turner Day, oh for sure. Malcolm X Day, oh for sure. Talib Bahar Day, oh for sure. Easter, you see, I called it Ostara. Like, I don't really get into the Western things, but that's just my bag. And whatever works for you works for you. I am in no way trying to disrespect or discount anyone's faith. I have supreme respect for whatever path leads you to the Most High. I have great respect for whatever path you find truth in, and whatever path leads you and catalyzes you and inspires you to be the best version of yourself. I'm never gonna be mad at a specific spiritual system, because a lot of times it be humans that be the flaws. It be humans doing too much and doing a lot, but the systems themselves is a lot of truth in everything. It's a lot of truth in every belief system, and I feel like it's all just kind of different ways of getting to the Most High. But I am geeked over here about this reading. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm a little bit geeked about this reading, because it's like a perfect instructional on how to shine. But it all starts with learning to love yourself and realizing that you are a being of light and allowing yourself to shine. Like, even allowing yourself, like even feeling comfortable enough to be like, oh, I'm a be myself. Like, oh, that takes love, because this world will make you feel like if you don't conform and fit into certain boxes and certain archetypes, that you can't get what you want, that like things aren't aligning for your highest and greatest good because like there is no plan and it's all just you and you have absolute control of your destiny. And like, you know what I'm saying? And like, even if you don't want to think about like God, you couldn't possibly have absolute control of your destiny because other humans also have free will. So as much as you could want that job and you could do everything within your power to get that job, if the month doing the hiring don't want to hire you, there's nothing you can do to get them to change their mind. And it's freedom in knowing. It's freedom in knowing what you can and what you can't control. And understanding that your best is good enough. When you love yourself, you understand that your best is good enough and you're grateful for the best that you were able to do today because your best is different on different days. Some days your best is, I did everything on my to-do list. I checked all the boxes. I got up early, hit the gym, had like healthy, like sometimes that's your best. And then other days your best is like, I fed myself and got a shower. That's all I had capacity to do today. And this is the thing, that's also fine. It's also fine. Because God has a plan for you and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. You know, you're exactly where you're supposed to be at all points in time. So yeah, I am grateful to you guys. I'm very, very grateful to you guys for allowing me to read for you and for joining me for this riff. Shout out to everybody who tuned in to the live. And I apologize for however janky it is in the beginning, but this was such a powerful read. And I hope that everybody perseveres through the technical difficulties to be able to get the wisdom here. I hope everybody is able to, you know, chew the meat and spit the bones. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna streamline the setup. This is only my second live on here. We're gonna streamline the setup. We're gonna get rid of the technical difficulties and yeah. We're only going up from here because I know that this is part of God's plan for me. I know about how these messages come through. I know about how this shit aligns. I had no idea these cards were going to come out when I chose the title to be Let Your Soul Glow. And like a couple of them specifically mention like your light shine, like your light shine. This is the only time I have touched this deck is when I did the unboxing for you guys. And as y'all know, I didn't even go through the whole deck. I pulled like a couple cards just to get a feel for what the messages were like. But I had no idea that this deck even just had shining so much as a catalyst. I just listened because they were like, how you gonna do a solar plexus reading and not get the deck with all the light? And I listened to my ancestors, I listened to my spirit guides, and it led to just this divine ass reading. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased in my soul. Yeah. I really love doing this. This is part of my joy and like I said, part of my path and part of, you know, God's plan for me. And I hope that you guys can take this blueprint and love yourself and trust in the universe and trust in the Most High enough to be able to get to your purpose, get to what your path is and walk it. And like, you know, boots were made for walking, like strut in that joint, like this little light of yours, like, you know what I'm saying, let that joint shine bright like a diamond, like, you know what I'm saying, do that, yes, do that, because life is too short to be out here not loving yourself. Like if you don't love you, you can't possibly expect anybody else to. But also, if you don't love you, you're going to be miserable. Like, it's just at a baseline. Like, it is nearly impossible if you don't like yourself to have like joy and, you know, positive living experience, which is why this was the first step what I'm saying? That's why this was the first step. Very much like nearly the center of your being. It's like right below your heart chakra. Um, right below like the love center. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it all ties together. It all ties in. I lost my train of thought with that one. That one was fleeting. I looked at my clock and it was like 44:11, and I was like, deep. So maybe that's a number. If anybody wants to look up that angel number, maybe it'll be relevant to the reading. I'll look it up after this, and if it is relevant, I'll do it in like a pinned comment, add it in the description. I don't know how I'll share it with you guys, but hopefully you guys have found this to be as enriching as I have. Hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun. And I will see you guys on the next riff. Like, you know what I'm saying, next time we decide to hit a me riff, like, you know what I'm saying, because reading is fundamental. Reading is fundamental, and loving yourself is also fundamental. And a lot of times we have to be able to face ourselves in order to love ourselves. We have to know ourselves, both the good and the bad, to be able to love ourselves and forgive ourselves. And, you know, Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, you have to start with yourself. And sometimes it requires you to make changes in order to become the person that you find lovable. Like, you know what I'm saying, that you are capable of loving. Because a lot of times it's like you're out here doing unlovable things. And it's like, well, how could you love yourself when you're not being the best of yourself? There's a portion of you that's disappointed with you, that, you know, like has wounds, and now that creates resentment for yourself, which is the worst type of resentment, which is the worst type of bondage. You done tied yourself up. It's like, I don't trust you. Like, you know what I'm saying, you can't go out here and do this because you're gonna fuck it up. And it's because you don't know yourself, you don't love yourself, you don't trust yourself. So yes, I hope that everyone shines just a little bit brighter after today. And if anybody has any follow-up questions about this reading, or, you know, wants to reach out, info is in the description. But it's ImaX across all platforms. That's not I am, but I am AHX. You find me on TikTok. We're gonna start doing daily morning pools over there. So I'll be up at the crack of dawn, so they'll probably be up around like 5, 6, 7 at the absolute latest. So it'll definitely be there first thing in the morning for you to be able to just see what the energies of the day kind of have to bring, and get in alignment with that. I think we're going to use the Moonology deck for the morning messages and pools. I think that's a good deck for that particular purpose. But yeah, join us on TikTok. I also be doing skits over there. I'm a little bit funny. People, they be laughing. I be clowning around a little bit, but that's only because laughter is the best medicine. And I be over here cracking myself up. Healing is what I call it. I'll be over here healing. The medicine. It's just me and the medicine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, join us, and email me if you have any questions. Inbox me on, you know, the various platforms. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook for your mama. Tell your mama and them. Tell your mama and your grandmama and your aunties to follow me on Facebook, where the old heads be. Because I got I got an old soul. I be out here vibing with the old heads. Some of my favorite people is aunties. And I am an auntie, but I'm not an auntie. You know the difference. Like, I'm still like the cool aunt. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I love the aunties, like, because they're cool in their own way. They have reached a level of freedom born of loving themselves and not giving not a fuck about what anybody has to say about it. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you guys for being here. We're gonna wrap up. It's been your friendly neighborhood Ema X with the Ostara edition of Riff. Let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow. Feeling oh so silky smooth. And don't leave no wet spots on nobody's couch. From the Jerry curl juice. You know what I'm saying? Don't drip on them too hard. Don't drip on them too hard. Just shine a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But y'all have a beautiful evening. Y'all have a beautiful week. I'm gonna see y'all first thing in the morning. We're gonna start off Monday with those readings on TikTok, and I'll probably end up sharing them over here, you know, across the various platforms if I can. So yeah, just content is coming. Content is coming. There's also new musical content coming, new videos, performances, live, and you know, just it's the Ema X show, and the world is a stage, like I'm saying. So I'm out here shining my light, and hopefully it inspires you to shine yours in whatever ways that you are called to. So be blessed, be well, be naturally you, like I'm saying. And get your shine on, get your shine on. My brain is just like, what other shine songs are there? Like, get your shine on, so pimpin' stop hating. You know we gonna make it. And on that note, I am out.